In today's session, despite what it says on the screen, we're not doing the once and future slab. We're doing the good, the bad, and the Mordecai. First we have to find Carson. There's two ways to shortcut this. One is the way I'm taking, which is you come over here as usual, drop down to the platform below, crawl over the rocks, and he's right down here. Bingo. A little fast travel back. Actually, that wasn't Carson, that was some guy that had his echo, I guess. Now we have to free Carson from prison. I feel like I'm entitled to one screw up per video. So I got the guy's name wrong. That's my one. Henceforth, everything will be perfect. Why aren't you going after them? That trap can get so lazy sometimes. Now he's going. You can pretty much just run past all of these bots that show up until you get here. You get behind these shipping containers and get a vault symbol as a bonus. But other than these suicide guys, nobody else tries to get back here. So you can just pop your head out and shoot them when you feel like it. You still have Death Trap out there working on them. I guess I left you hanging with the comment about two ways to get to the guy with the echo at the start. The other way is when you're going up the rock and do the jump, you swerve off to the left and you'll jump into that same area that we found them in, more or less. But I think the straight jump and going over the rocks is kind of a safer way to go. Next we have to go to a graveyard by a church, which is way off to your left here. And I think the intended route is to go back behind Ellie's and go through all these Spider-Man camps. But as most people know, there's a shortcut right here. We'll be taking that. From here, we're going to go down and see if we can find the Black Queen, which is a large spider ant who drops a nuclear rocket launcher called the Nukem. You have to drop down to the right of a spawning machine down there, which I'm still looking for. There it is, because that's a save point. And if the Black Queen is going to spawn, which she frequently does not, but if she does, you have to have gone past that save point. Okay, we didn't get any legendaries from the two guys up there by the church, and the Black Queen didn't even put in an appearance, much less drop a legendary. So we will try again. On our first official farming run, we do get a Veruc, which is not a legendary that I ever use. It might be okay, but if you've got a bunch of other legendaries, probably not going to be your first choice. You can see this darker rock here. And I think we've established that's where you want to go. So in the future, hopefully, I will go straight to the darker rock. Still no Black Queen. And I think we've about established where this route is, how to take the shortcut. So this should be the last time that I show this. There's a legendary, but it's another Veruc. Like I say, I don't use that. There's a decent sniper rifle they can drop, which is the Lyudmila or something like that. We're making progress. Black Queen has come out to play. This Nukem has a magazine size of 2. The one I used in the Splinter group had a magazine size of 3, which meant I got 2 shots out of that before having to reload. But if you use the quick reload cheat, then it doesn't make that big a difference. Notice the damage is over 7,000, so that's pretty good for a level 14 weapon. I farmed the 2 guys a few more times to try to get the sniper rifle, but it never dropped, and there's no real point in going on with that. I'm showing this because while I was doing this, I'm also on the lookout for these bandit cars, because I'm supposed to be destroying those and getting some parts for Ellie. Her little statuesque statuettes. So I've actually gathered all 6 that I need for her, and now for that mission I just need to go back and put them in place. I'll try this one more time and then move on. Oops, I picked up the dynamite, but didn't get her last ornament in place there. That what's in the box thing is a tribute to the movie 7, of course. And that box can spawn anywhere of about 5 different places in the West. I don't see any point in chasing after it, because eventually in all the trips you make here you're going to find it. The weapon in it is called Gwen's Head, and other than that it's not much of a weapon to brag about. Now we start the clan wars. We get these symbols off the cars to frame the different clans with. Picking up an echo there for the challenges. Because this is very long and not too complicated, I'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. I finally learned you have to go through on the edge of that entry, exit. So one clan owns this bar called the Holy Spirits. We blew up their still. They spin this bear until he drops some money. And then this character here recruits you to strike back for him. I'm gonna pick up some dynamite. use that to blow up cars at the other clan's racetrack. Now there's a vault symbol in here. There's only one challenge for the three horns, or I mean the Holy Spirits. There's a vault symbol and it's pretty hard to see. This is the smallest one in the game, and there it is. This slot machine, you get in the same position as the one in the dust, and you know, it's easy to operate, and there's a vending machine right there. So it's a pretty good place to play. Pick up a couple of missions while I'm here. Then back to the dust. I don't really understand what Ellie has to do with all this. I guess she hates both clans. There we go. Now the little wheelchair guy told us to come pick up this drop, echo drop, with instructions to follow the other clan's money man. Now you kill the guy, pick up his key, and rob all their money. There's 10 of those chests that have a lot of money in them, and that's your goal right now, is to get all 10 of them.
What's in the box?
Now you have to go out and meet with another guy to get the next step in the clan fight. Trailer trashing. It looks pretty light out to me, and one of the submissions here is to arrive at night. Unfortunately, there's nothing in this game that tells you the time of day. You just have to base it on how light or dark it is outside. So I'm going to play slots for a while. Starting to look a little darker now, so we'll head on over to the racetrack / trailer park. blown up the trailer park, we have to go back out and turn in the mission. And we have to go back to the trailer park and get his answer to all this, which he wants us to go to the other clan's wake at the Holy Spirit's bar, but before we can get in there, we already have to be drunk. And to do that, we've come to Moxie's. So then Holy Spirits let us in because we're already drunk. And our objective is to shoot the place up. Having done that, we go back, turn it in to Ellie, who seems to be the instigator in all this. So now it's time to finish it off. The two clans are out here. You have to pick a side. And what you may want to look at is the weapons, legendary weapons, the two sides can drop. Because from what I can tell, whichever side you kill, that's the side that you're going to be able to farm. I can't find where you can farm both sides. So no legendaries dropped. We'll go get our reward from the other clan and then start farming. Now this portal to Lynchwood right here, we go in and activate the fast travel so that we can get here later without having to drive out again. When we come back to the dust, that becomes our spawning point. And there's nobody here right now because we haven't done a save, quit, continue. But once we do that, we'll spawn right there at that same point. And now here's that same clan that we killed. To make this farming a little more entertaining, one thing that I like to do is try out different weapons to see which are the most effective. Of course, this is the Kerr Blaster here. I'll try another weapon this next time. Looks like the Veruc. Now we're going to see how our old level 10 unkempt herald keeps up. It doesn't take them down with one shot, but for this much difference in level, it does a decent job. Zaffer hard to kill, so I'm going to try a fastball. Okay, that did the job, plus it got a legendary. Its claim to fame is that it fires 6 projectiles at the cost of 1. With the clan wars finished, we're back over at the racetrack to try a challenge called If You're Not First, You're Last. You have to do the racetrack in a limited amount of time. If you hung on to the afterburner relic that Ellie gave you earlier, you should equip that now to boost the capacity and recharge delay and so forth for the car. First, get a running start before the little timer above. Of course, that timer doesn't show anything. And I'm running this at half speed so that I can point some things out. Notice the afterburners were going right away. You want to try to stay close to the cliff over here. Okay, on your left up here is another little strike pole and a pile of rocks. As soon as you hit those rocks, you want to start turning. And that's all there is to it. Of course, I've got my afterburners going. They'll stop at some point, but you need to start them back up as soon as you can. So that was just a practice run. Don't forget that you have to save, quit, continue to reset the trial. And if you don't get a smooth practice run, then you want to start over, do as many practice runs as you need to hit these points, which is just stay close to the wall there, turn on these rocks, keep your boosters going. There's the challenge complete.